Hi, my name is Smriti, and I'll be presenting about sleep disorders in Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Sleep might sound like a simple daily routine, but it's actually one of the most critical biological processes for maintaining brain health. Sleep disorders contribute significantly to the progression of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease by disrupting REM sleep, circadian rhythms, and overall sleep quality by accelerating cognitive and motor decline and reducing patient quality of life. What scientists are now discovering is that sleep disturbances don't just happen alongside these conditions, but can actually accelerate them. Studies show that over 70% of patients with Alzheimer's or Parkinson's also experience chronic sleep disorders. These include insomnia, REM sleep behavior disorder, and excessive daytime sleepiness. In many cases, sleep problems usually appear years before diagnosis, which makes them a potential early warning sign. During healthy sleep, the brain clears waste products through the glymphatic system, repairs neurons, balances neurotransmitters, and consolidates memory. When these processes fail, toxic proteins like amyloid beta and alpha-synuclein start to accumulate faster, and these are important characteristics in Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. So this topic explores how poor sleep is part of disease progression itself. The major sleep disorders connected to neurodegenerative diseases are REM sleep behavior disorder, and this is when people physically act out their dreams because their bodies don't go into normal muscle paralysis during REM sleep. Insomnia is when people have trouble falling or staying asleep. Circadian rhythm disruptions is when a person's internal clock is out of sync with the day-to-night cycle. And sleep apnea is when breathing interruptions cause repeated awakenings. Each of these sleep disorders affect the brain differently, but they share a common outcome, which is fragmented, low-quality sleep that disrupts memory, attention, and mood regulation. These disorders often reflect underlying neurobiological damage and are tied to specific parts of the brain that are degenerating. Parkinson's disease is known for its motor symptoms, tremors, rigidity, and slowness. But what people don't realize is that sleep dysfunction is one of the earliest and most common motor symptoms. Studies show that 90% of Parkinson's patients experience some type of sleep disorder, and one of the most striking one is REM sleep behavior disorder. And this often appears 10 to 15 years before Parkinson's disease is even diagnosed. This is because Parkinson's affects the brainstem, which is responsible for suppressing muscle activity during REM sleep. And when this system fails, people literally act out their dreams, sometimes even violently. Beyond REM sleep behavior disorder, Parkinson's patients also experience insomnia, and this is from dopamine imbalance and the side effects of their medication. Restless leg syndrome, fragmented sleep, and excessive daytime sleepiness caused by the damage to the hypothalamus and brainstem. These sleep problems make it harder for patients to move, think, and regulate their mood during the day, and this increases fall risk and reduces the quality of life. In healthy brains, slow wave sleep helps clear waste products like amyloid beta through the glymphatic system. But in Alzheimer's, that process breaks down, and when slow wave sleep decreases, amyloid beta starts to accumulate and form plaques. This is usually common in older adults. Research shows that disrupted circadian rhythms and sleep fragmentation both lead to increased neuroinflammation, oxidative stress, and faster cognitive decline. If there is poor sleep, there is more amyloid buildup, and if there is more amyloid, it results in even worse sleep. So this is a cycle that keeps repeating. Eventually, this cycle leads to severe memory loss and confusion, and these are key features of Alzheimer's disease. Studies suggest that tracking sleep quality could help detect Alzheimer's in its earliest pre-symptomatic stages. Sleep disorders are deeply tied to our circadian rhythm, also known as our internal 24-hour clock. The circadian rhythm controls hormone release, temperature, alertness, and sleep-wake timing. When it gets disrupted, usually due to aging or neurodegeneration, the body's system falls out of sync, and it is found that people with irregular circadian rhythms had faster rates of cognitive decline, even before dementia set in. In Alzheimer's and Parkinson's patients, circadian misalignment leads to sundowning, and this term refers to when people with Alzheimer's or Parkinson's experience confusion and agitation worsening in the late afternoon or evening. Maintaining consistent sleep schedules, light exposure, and meal times can significantly reduce symptoms and stabilize mood in these patients. While medications like melatonin or dopamine agonists are sometimes used, they can have side effects or interact with other drugs. That's why researchers are focusing on non-pharmacological interventions. The first one is bright light therapy, and this exposes patients to strong light in the morning to help reset their circadian clock. The second one are exercise programs, which improves sleep quality and overall motor control. The third one is cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, also known as CBTI, which is structured therapy that helps retrain sleep habits. And lastly, sleep hygiene routines include reducing screen time, keeping consistent sleep schedules, and managing caffeine intake. These approaches not only improve sleep, but also boost mood, cognitive function, and daily activity levels. It shows that improving sleep could directly improve neurological symptoms and not just make the patients feel more rested, but actually be more rested. Sleep disorders and neurodegenerative diseases are often undiagnosed, especially in low-income or rural areas where people don't really have access to sleep studies or neurologists. And this creates health disparities where only wealthier patients get the full range of treatments. And improving public health awareness about sleep could help reduce these gaps. In researching this topic, I only used peer-reviewed sources and paraphrased everything in my own words because scientific integrity is a big part of what keeps research trustworthy. And when it comes to the research itself, it is important to make sure that the data that we collect on sleep or neurodegenerations of patients are collected with patient privacy in mind, and especially different devices such as wearable sleep trackers. As they become more common, it's important to maintain privacy of those patients. So why should we, as college students, even care about this topic? In this stage of our lives, sleep is often sacrificed. Pulling all-nighters, staying up with screens, or irregular schedules can throw off our circadian rhythms. And this is the same system that breaks down in neurodegenerative diseases. Even short-term sleep loss reduces memory consolidation and attention. And these are the two things that we need for learning. Chronic sleep deprivation increases the risk of long-term brain changes, including reduced hippocampal volume, which is directly tied to memory loss. Consistent sleep, reduced caffeine late in the day, and balanced schedules can protect our brains decades down the line. Looking ahead, scientists are exploring how sleep data could predict disease earlier. For example, the long-term REM pattern tracking through wearable devices might help identify Parkinson's or Alzheimer's changes years before symptoms. New therapies are also being developed that combine sleep regulation with neuroprotective drugs, aiming to both improve rest and slow down brain degeneration. There's even research on how AI and smart home devices can monitor sleep disturbances in older adults and alert doctors automatically. This gives people more independence while still catching early signs. Sleep plays a far bigger role in our brain health than we realize, and disorders like insomnia, REM sleep behavior disorder, and circadian rhythm disruption are not just side effects, they're key drivers of how Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease progress. By improving sleep through light therapy, consistent routines, or behavioral interventions, we can help patients maintain independence, cognitive function, and quality of life longer. And for us college students, it's a reminder that taking care of our sleep habits now is an investment in our future brain health. These are the references that I used for my project, and thank you.